خذني إلهي، فعلى توفيقك اليوم اعتمادي. يا إله الكون يا عوني وغوثي، يا ملل الخلق في يوم المعاد.
أنا يا ربي أرجو منك عفوا،
فاعف عن ذنبي وحقق لي مرادي.
نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد، وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري. يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد، أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد.
Oh, teacher, can you see me? I open, teacher.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I continue. Praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. We have been graced by the chance to gather in this momentous ceremony, even though in virtual platform. Let's start off with our speaker's biography. Dr. Mazlin Mohktar is a senior lecturer and experienced teaching English as a second language TESOL lecturer at the Sultan Idris Education University, UPSI, who has taught previously in school and polytechnics. She graduated with a Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, from the University of Auckland, New Zealand. She had several posts, such as the head of Gender Studies Department, head of Research and Innovation Unit, and head of Language Unit previously at the Polytechnics. She has nearly 20 years of teaching and experienced Malaysian University English Test MUET examiner and a certified test of English as a foreign language TOEFL primary and junior teacher. Her research interests are sociolinguistics, English for specific purpose, English as a second language, and ICT in education. Are you ready, everyone? Without ado, I welcome Dr. Mazlin Mohktar to deliver her speech on Speaking Skill MUET Workshop. Please welcome.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good, what time is it? 3 o'clock afternoon, everyone. Okay, sometimes,
Salam, Dr. Mazlin.
yeah, sometimes staying at home, you lost track of the time. Okay, the time is moving quite fast. The others, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Sure. Okay, so it's going to be a speaking skills, right, today. So I expect that everyone will take part and speak. Okay. Of course, I do the most of the speaking since we are doing this online. But then the rest, I see when I say everybody will start speaking, starting to leave already the meeting room. Don't leave, please stay. Okay, so those who are joining us through YouTube, you can also do some of the exercises that are given to you. It's just that you can't respond to me orally, but if you respond through the comments, I will not be able to see it unless I have to view the YouTube what do you call it? The YouTube live there, right? Maybe the how to pronounce your name? Nailil. Nailil, okay. Maybe Cik Nailil will take down. I do not know whether she can view the YouTube live or not. I'm not sure. Maybe there's another committee who is in charge of YouTube live can take down if there's any question, okay, from the comments there. All right. So we have Atira Najwa. Are you there? Or she can't answer? See, people are leaving already when I start calling the names. Nurul Irdina. Everybody start saying that internet line is not good. Najatul Wafa. Nurul Aina. Abdullah Rifki. Wafa. Say different Wafa, okay. Ahmad Aiman. Tuan Putri. Hanisa. Aisyah. Mariam. Aisyah. Nur. Ni teacher kan? Teacher Nur Halida, right? Is it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, Muhammad Izzat, Wardatul Husna, Nazif. Nazif, how do you pronounce your name? Nazif.
Nazif Zestiza.
Zesdizar. Okay. What does it mean?
Tak tahu.
I thought you all learn Arab, so you should know the meaning of your name. So it might not be Arab's name, right?
Dia nama orang putih.
Nama orang putih. Okay. Okay, so we have Nurul Aina, Haikal Hafizi. That one is, I can't see. It's very small font. The baby boss, I do not know what's the name. Okay, Aiman and Aiman Yusof. Okay, so I hope I have called most of you who have joined, who are in our room, in the Google Meet room. And also hi to those who are watching me through YouTube live as well. Okay, so as what your MC Naili has mentioned just now, we are going to do a little bit on speaking skills today. Okay, so before I begin, I would like to know whether has anyone sit for MUET test before, or is it your first experience in sitting for the exam? Is it the first time? Is this your first time? Nampak muka. Is this your first time?
Yes, yeah, it's
Yes.
the first time for me.
Oh, okay. So most of you, maybe this is your first time, right? And you are going to do the new format for MUET. Okay, we don't have any more old format. So the new format for speaking skills, not so much different. It's quite similar to the previous format. It's just that the timing and the nature of discussion is a little bit different. Okay, than the early, and then the older format. Okay, but still we have part 1 and part 2 for speaking skills. The duration is a little bit longer. Okay, I will explain to you now. All right, so now I will share with you the slide that I have prepared. It's not there. Hold on. I have to open this one first. Okay, I haven't used Google Meet for quite some time. We are using the WebEx. Normally we use WebEx in UPSI and also Microsoft Teams. The only complaint that the student made about WebEx is that they are, it's like it took up a lot of data, okay, for WebEx. So they have to have a very strong internet connection in order for them to use WebEx. Microsoft Teams is quite okay, but since you are not familiar with that, so I don't want to do that. So we just stick to Google Meet, which is very simple. I think most of us are very familiar with it. Okay, so if you have any question, you can just ask me and stop me anytime. Okay, it doesn't matter because sometimes I may not be able to look at the comments in the chat box, because once I start sharing the slides, it's a little bit difficult for me to look at the chat. All right, so you can just raise your hand. There's a function, right? You know that, right? There's a function. Raise your hand so I can go to you, and also you can just turn on your mic and talk to me. So it will be good if it is a more of a two-way, okay, interaction rather than only me talking for 2 hours. Okay, that will be very exhausting. Okay, so it's good if I have people asking me questions and I will be able to help you and explain to you as much as I can. Okay, for MUET, of course I've been teaching MUET a long time, and also I was one of the examiner. But for since the pandemic, I wasn't the examiner. I'm just telling you the truth, okay? But somehow or other, I have friends who are examiners, okay, and they keep on sharing with me information and tips. And somehow or other, it is not that different. It's just that every time when we have a MUET session exam, we will need to sit down and look at the questions together with the examiners, the other examiners. So it's rather you have experience or not, you'll be briefed again every session, okay, how to mark. And from my own experience, it seems that every session, it would be different way of marking. I do not know why. Okay, last time they accept this, but this time they don't accept it. They have their own justification because they have their own panels to validate the question, to look at the answer scripts and so on. So we just follow whatever guide that they have given to us. And we have like a few days for us to look at samples of questions, and then we have to discuss the marks. So at least we know, ranging from band 5 and below, okay, what will be the acceptable answers and so on. Okay, so that's how we monitor our marks, and that's how we moderate the marks between the examiners. Okay, and usually we have a second examiner to look at the answers, but that one is more of the written paper. Okay, written and I think it's written. Reading, because it's a multiple choice question, so computer will be reading it. Okay, for speaking, of course, that's why we have two examiners. Okay, then we moderate with each other. So that's it. Okay, so that'll be easier there, and then finish. All right. Okay, for speaking, can you all see the slide?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so if for WebEx, when I use WebEx, if I share the screen, I can't see, your your faces or anything. Okay, I can only see my slides here, unless I minimize it. But then you are unable to look at the screen with the full slide instead, right? So if WebEx, you can give the thumbs up or laughing or emoji, so it will pop up on the side on my screen, so it's easier for me to interact and I know whether you can understand or not. So if this is the case, it's okay. You can just turn on your mic and stop me if you have any question. Okay, so for web speaking skills, this paper, the code is 800/2. So it's the second paper for MUET. So this one, I think, I'm sure Mr. Hadi has mentioned to you about what is MUET. Okay, what is it used for? Is for pre-university students, and also if you're taking degree, you must pass your MUET English test. Okay, and depending on what program that you are graduating from, and the requirement, okay, of the band that you should get. Okay, for instance, in UPSI, under the program of BEd TESOL, Bachelor Education in TESOL, the students are required to get at least band 4. Okay, they must get at least band 4 in order to graduate. Okay, or if they can't get band 4, they have to repeat until they get band 5. If they until they get band 4. If they still can't, so there'll be another requirement that they have to attend to. Okay, so it is depend on what program that you are taking and what is the requirement that the program has set. So you can say that TESOL, they need band 4. Maybe for subjects like accountancy, maybe they only need band 3, okay, to graduate. So it depends, okay, on what program that you're taking. And I'm sure all of you know there are 4 skills from WET: speaking, listening, reading, and writing, right? So all the 4 skills will be tested separately, not together, but separately, yeah? Okay, all these 4 skills, and that's why they have 4 papers altogether. And it measures and report candidates' level of proficiency from band 1 to 5 plus. We don't have band 6 at this time. Okay, for the older format, we have band 1 to band 6. Okay, but for the new format, we have band 1 to 5 plus. Why? I will explain it to you, okay? Okay, this is all because of we are aligning the MUET with CEFR, the Common European Framework of Reference. I'm sure you heard about CEFR, okay, all the time, especially when it regards with when it is related to English subjects. So everything now it is measured with CEFR. The reason why we have this CEFR is like a common. That's why they say a common reference. Okay, so if you go whichever country in the world, when you mention the level of your CEFR, they will understand, okay, what level that you are in. Is it C1, C2, B1, B2, A1, A2, something like that. So if you just mention, oh, what's your CEFR level? Oh, mine is A1, C1, you mentioned that. Okay, then they will know, okay, the level. They will see the level. Okay, they will understand it. Because if you say, what do you get for your English test? Oh, I got an A. But for them, an A could be a C for them. You see? So it's a little bit different. And then you have TOEFL grade. You have IELTS grade. IELTS, they have 7, 8, 9. Okay, they call it 7 and 9. The higher will be the better. Okay, the higher grade. Then TOEFL, they have the hundreds numbers, different. Okay, for SPM, is different grading. So all are having different grading on their own. MUET, they have different grading. So now they are trying to measure it with the CEFR. So if you're getting 5 plus, what is the standard for CEFR. So calendar, I'm sure you know. So you'll be taking, I suppose that you're going to take this October, right? So that's why you're having the course now. Okay, and you also have the MOD, MUET in demand, which you can request. And this one, I think, is a little bit expensive compared to the normal MUET because you demand, okay, you are the one who demand to do it and when you want to do it. But okay, but now it is not when you want to do it. They already set the date, okay, which is different from the real dates for the normal MUET paper. Okay, this is what I was saying before that. Oh, I don't have that. Is it this one? Okay, this is the one, yeah? MUET test scores, just now I mentioned. Okay, so that's why we call it, this one is F, 5 plus. So we have band 1, band 2, we have 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5 plus, meaning those who get 5 plus and above, I mean, they are considered, or 5 and 5 plus, they're considered as this. Okay, for this one, it will consider as C1 and C2 CEFR. If you get band 5, meaning you are C1 and C2. Okay, if your CEFR level is A, if you said, people ask you, what is your English result? Oh, A, you mentioned. Okay, so if you tell them to the others, you say A, they think that your level is the CEFR level, the A, the low one. Okay, so if you get a C, means you're good. Okay, it's the other way around. Okay, A does not mean good for CEFR. A meaning the lower one. So B will be the medium one, and the C will be the highest marks for CEFR, as well as when it related to the MUET here, 5 and above. So it's a little bit different from the other grading. All right. This one is the breakdown, the structure of the MUET paper, and you know already. Okay. There are 4 papers, so we'll be looking at speaking today, the second paper. And the score, if you see, they are all the same. Okay, same weighting, yeah, 25% all this. Okay, 25% throughout the paper. Okay, last time it was different. There are some papers with 15, there are some papers with 30, and so on. Different weightage. Okay, so now they want it to be the same. So all papers are have the same weightage, 25% for all the papers, so 100%. You have to take all this paper. You cannot miss one. Okay, if let's say you take listening, speaking, and reading, you don't want to do the writing. Okay, you still fail. You did not pass. You have to take all the 4 papers. You cannot choose. Okay, the only difference would be the duration of each papers. Okay, the first one will be 15 minutes listening. Speaking is still the same 30 minutes. It's just that the presentation will take a little bit longer. Okay, and this one 30 minutes estimation. Okay, sometimes it will be lesser for one group, but sometimes it will be more for the other group. And reading and writing is same duration, 75 minutes and 75 minutes. All right, so we have part 1 and part 2 for speaking. Same with previous format, so we don't talk about the last format. We are talking about this new format, which we have. The first one will be part 1 for individual presentation and part 2 for the group discussion. Okay, for part 1, you are given 2 minutes to prepare. Okay, and then another 2 minutes to present. Okay, don't worry so much. I will show you a video after this how a speaking test is conducted. Okay, and you can visualize how it is going to be. All right, and in part 2, after they have finished the presentation, meaning you have 2 minutes 2 minutes preparation and 2 minutes presentation each candidate. Okay, in a group we're going to have 4 candidates for speaking. Okay, we call it candidate A, B, C, and D. So each one you have the opportunity to speak for 2 minutes. Nobody will interrupt you. Okay, A will speak 2 minutes, then finish, and then goes to B, and then goes to C, and then goes to D. So altogether about 8 to 10 minutes between. Okay. So everybody will be able to speak and nobody can interrupt during the individual presentation. Okay. Everyone has to listen to your friends when they are speaking. Okay. You can only prepare during the 2 minutes preparation. Then you will start presenting. Okay, A will start first. You cannot say, oh, D would like to start first. No, no, no. Okay, but for task A, part 1, candidate A will speak first, followed by B, C, and D. Okay, so that's the order. After that, you'll be given another 3 minutes because you have listened to your friend speaking just now. You might want to jot down some of the answers that they give because you may need to use the points that they have given in part 2. Because part 2, the questions will be, it is under the same theme. Okay, tema, same theme. But the questions is not to decide between the 4 who is the best. No, it's different now. Okay, you'll be given different stimulus, and then whatever your friend said just now, some of the points given, you can use them. You can use them to support for part 2. Okay, so for part 2, there'll be another group discussion. Now you're given 3 minutes. Okay, to look at the question for part 2, and then for you to prepare some answers, and also for you to think about what your friends has mentioned just now, whether what they have mentioned can be used in the second part. Then you will start the presentation after the 3 minutes has ended. Okay, so the discussion will take between 8 to 12 minutes. Okay, 8 to 12 minutes. So who's going to start? Anyone can start. Okay, D can start first, C can start first, B or A, anybody can start first. Okay, and then you discuss, okay, the issues or what is required by the question for you to decide. Okay, there are some questions who ask you which is the best solution, okay, among the given one. For example, I will show you the paper and see how it goes. So they have to decide in the group the answers. So you have about 8 to 12 minutes. It is best if you start to argue first. Okay, that's how you plan. You argue first, and then towards the end of 2 minutes also, okay, about during the 8 minutes and above, you can start doing conclusion and make decision. Okay, on the not to say the answers, on what conclusion that you would like to do for your own group. So you have to really time yourself. Okay, after 8 minutes, maybe you can give a clue to your friends that you need to sum up or you need to conclude your discussion so that everybody knows. So every now and then you have to check your time. Okay, whether it's time for you to do it or not. If your discussion ended abrupt, for example, you started with one point and the others start to agree with your points, and in less than 5 minutes you have finished the discussion, what do you think will happen? Anybody? If you finish in 5 minutes instead of 8 to 12 minutes, what do you think will happen? Anyone
Lose
has an
marks.
idea? Sorry?
Kurang markah.
Kurang markah. Marks will be deducted. Other than that, what do you think will happen? The others?
The examiner will wait for you until you finish it.
Yeah, could be. Other than that? Okay, those two are the possibilities that could happen. Okay, whatever it is, the examiners cannot stop it early. Okay, so you have 8 to 12 minutes. The examiner will only be able to stop the discussion if only it has reached 8 minutes and above. Okay, but if you stop within 5 minutes and everybody, okay, we agree with that point, the others are not, we don't agree, so we have decided, blah, 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 5 minutes ended. Okay, what could happen? The examiner, you'll see there's one, there are two examiners. One of them maybe, okay, they will start asking you question instead to keep the discussion going. Okay, they will ask you questions. They will maybe trigger you something with an issue so that you start talking. Because 5 minutes is difficult for the examiners to give you marks. Not much discussion there. 5 minutes. Okay, there's not much discussion. Okay, maybe there's only one member who keeps on saying blah 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 blah, but the others are, oh yes, agree, oh yeah, I also agree, I finish 5 minutes. So how is she or he to give the marks with the other 3 candidates? So it is not fair. So they will ask you questions, okay, in order to continue with the discussion. Okay, so one of the things that could happen, and they will wait until 8 minutes. All right. So that is one of the scenario that could happen. So whatever it is, when you started to do part 2, look at the time and see, okay, and start timing yourself, okay, and see where do you need to stop and start doing the discussion. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, the seating arrangement. So we have candidate A here, candidate B, candidate C, and candidate D. And there'll be 2 examiners here, examiner 1 and examiner 2. So I think it will still be the same seating, although this is the pandemic. Okay, it will be something similar because maybe it will be just a little bit further, that's all. But the arrangement is something like this. I think they're using quite a big table here, right? Okay, this is quite a big table. All right, if you can see it. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so what are the criteria, okay, that the examiners will focus on? There'll be 3 things, the 3 main things: the production, the interaction, and the linguistic knowledge. So these 3 main things will be looked at. They are considered the criteria for you to score for the speaking test. So the first one will be your understanding, whether you understand the topic or not. Can you ask question to the examiners if you don't understand the topic? Anybody knows?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yes. Okay. If you don't understand, you don't say, sorry, madam, I don't understand the question. You cannot say like that. But what you can do is that you ask the examiner to clarify. Okay, I don't quite understand it. Does this mean blah, blah, blah? Okay, clarify. Okay, sometimes people don't get certain words. Okay, there may be in one sentence you are not sure with this word. Okay, an example of the word last time the student asked was citizen. Okay, I still remember that. Okay, the word is citizen. So the student asked, what is the meaning of citizen? Okay, because there are many meanings of citizen at that time. One of it is the citizenship, the nationality. Another one will be the brand of the watch, citizen. Okay, the brand of the watch. The other time it was popular that time, there was a Tamil movie, if I'm not mistaken. The title was Citizen. So these students, they're not sure which one are the questions asking them to. So she asked, okay, what does it mean by citizen here? Okay, so the examiner explained that citizen here means something similar to nationality. Okay. All right. So if you still don't understand, examiner, the good examiner, they will give you more examples, okay, so that you understand it. To translate, I don't quite sure. Okay. Usually, examiner won't translate unless it cannot be helped anymore. Okay. If they need to translate one word in Malay, maybe. Okay. But as far as I'm concerned, examiners are not allowed to translate. But they will give explanation, they will give you definition, and they will also give you examples and samples until you understand it. Okay, that's how you do it. So if you are not quite sure any of the word, just confirm with the examiner. Okay, things like firearms. Okay, some people get confused. Firearms, is it fire? What do you call it? Firecrackers. Is it fire extinguisher? They get confused between this. They are not sure which one is the question is asking about. Okay, is it about the guns or is it about the things used to stop the fire, or is it the one that you lead during Hari Raya to celebrate something like that? Okay, so that one you can confirm. All right, then the next one, production, will look at how you present your viewpoints or arguments, how you develop the ideas, and how mature treatment of the topic. Okay, mature is not your face, okay? It's how you treat the topic. The examples that you give show maturity. Okay, the recent maybe some recent issues, okay, but not stories and immature childish stories you give to them. No, okay. Interaction. Okay, this one usually, sorry, that's a mistake here. Arguments. Okay. Okay, so for this one, it's more of a discussion, okay, during the part 2, where you do discussion, okay, with the participant, how you participate in the discussion, how you demonstrate, okay, what you understand about the topic, okay, your knowledge about the topic, and how you relate what others are saying with what you are saying, okay. You give more information about what is talking about, you give ideas, and you give your viewpoints and also argument. So during the discussion, you have to interact with the other candidates. You are not only talking about your points. I noticed that some candidate only talks about his or her point. They don't want to listen to the others. They don't even mention about the others' point. They don't even take note what the others are saying. So they are too self-centered, talking about their points, that's all. Because they don't want to give opinion about that. So there's no discussion then. Okay, so you'll be losing mark, okay, under interaction. And of course, the last one will be about your language, the accuracy. Okay, how accurate is your grammar, the pronunciation, your stress. Okay, your stress here is not stress, depression, bukan ya. Stress here is meaning how you pronounce it, how you stress on the words, how you pronounce the word. Okay, the intonation when you want to how to say, emphasize on something. Okay, the intonation is a little bit different. Okay, when you argue, of course, you don't shout. Okay, we are not talking about intonation here is to shout with your friend to show that you are angry. Okay, no. I mean, you don't. You have the flow of how to say, the intonation of saying something like you're singing, right? You have an intonation. If the song are really straight, monotonous, it will be very boring. Same when you speak. If it's too monotonous, it'll be very boring. Okay, I will put you to sleep in just 1 minute. Okay, so you need to have some sort of an intonation when you speak. So when you explain, you pause. Okay, we don't talk like in Malay they call it kereta api, right? Like the train. Okay, too fast. Okay, you have some pauses, you have stops, you have and so on. Okay. Next will be the range. Varied sentence structures, not only simple sentence, but you also have other type of sentence, compound sentence, using of the conjunctions, using of the sentence markers. Okay, you have firstly, then secondly, finally, in conclusion. Okay, so those things, okay, you need to use all those things as well. Fluency, you are able to speak with confidence. Okay, not so much so of hesitation. Some students have the tendency of using hesitation. Do you know what is hesitation? Do you know what is hesitation?
No.
Tak tahu.
Teragak-agak.
Yes, teragak-agak, hesitate. Contoh, can you give me an example of hesitation?
For instance, while they were talking, they tried to imply on something or try to say on some kind of a point or ideas, but unfortunately they were kind of maybe not to say pauses, but they were kind of not to say blurry too, but they kind of a bit afraid. I think, for example, okay, I'm talking about smartphone. I think the smartphone might be the good one. But in terms of how to expand the good one, they were not so sure. So I think that might be
Hesitation.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, some sort like that. Okay, acceptable. Yes, of course, that one is also important. If you hesitate, if you pause too long, also that is considered as hesitation as well. Okay, good points there. All right, so we can actually know whether the students are able to produce the sentences or the speeches, or maybe they are a little bit hesitate. One of it, another example of hesitation is the use of the hesitation pauses. Things like that sound. Okay, I always call it bunyi langau. Okay, that hesitation pauses, try to avoid using it too much. If you forget what to say, you just pause for a while without making the sound. Try not to make the sound. Lessen the sound. If you forget, just pause for a while. Think. Okay, then speak. You can use that, but don't use it too much. All right. So if you use that too much, it will actually disturb the fluency of the whole sentence, and the sounds will make your examiners irritate more instead. All right. Okay, so those are the three criteria that normally examiners will look at. Yeah, the three main one. All right. With having said that, I know that you try to imagine how it looks like, because this is not the second time or the third time you're taking, so the first time you're taking. So I've decided, okay, to show you a video. Okay, I will show you a video, a speaking video, which is taken from MUET, the MPM. Where do I get this one? MPM recordings. I think you have to buy the booklet, something like that. Okay, to show you how the MUET speaking test is conducted. So it will be about 25 minutes, but I don't want to go through all of it. Maybe I will let you see the first part. Usually people are scared of the first part because it's an individual presentation. Everyone has to present 2 minutes per person. So they're a little bit scared, okay, how to do it. So I will show you the video, okay, and then we'll see how they prepare and then how they present candidate A, B, C, and D. And part 2 during the discussion as well. But for part 2, I won't do until the end. It's just a few minutes of the start one. I will just skip a bit. If 25 minutes will be too long, maybe later I can share you the link. You can watch it on your own. Okay, because we have about 2 minutes. Okay, 2 hours only for this session. So if I show you half an hour, that goes half an hour already. Okay, are you all ready to watch a video?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Whose voice is that? So soft. Okay, so this is the video. If you can't hear, you let me know, right? Can you all hear it?
Yes.
Sure? Is it clear enough? Is it loud enough?
Yes.
This is a recording of MUET's Malaysian University English Test, Paper 2, Speaking. For part 1, each candidate is given a task sheet. Then they each have 2 minutes to prepare their responses, after which they would be given 2 minutes to present. For part 2, candidates would turn to the next page of the task sheet. They would be given 3 minutes to prepare and 8 to 12 minutes to discuss the topic. In the discussion, they may support or oppose the other candidate's views. At the end of the discussion, candidates try to come to a decision on which of the suggestions is the best. This is the seating arrangement. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's MUET test. There are two parts to this test. We'll start with part one first. So in this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you a question. I'd like you to talk about your question on your own for about 2 minutes. So here are your questions. Candidate A, Candidate B, Candidate C, and Candidate D. Right? Your questions are all about ways to keep healthy. You now have 2 minutes to prepare your presentation. Right? Okay, Candidate A, it's your turn first. Talk about the importance of what and when people eat. You may begin.
Good morning, examiners and friends. So it is important to be healthy. What are the ways to keep healthy? So in my opinion, it is very important to know what and when people eat. For example, as we all know the saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We need to know what are the type of food that we need to eat which will keep us healthy. And it is important because we need to have because it makes us strong and balanced diet. For example, consume more fruits and vegetables. When we consume more fruits and vegetables, it has a lot of minerals and vitamins which will prevent a lot of diseases such as obesity, which is a common problem in Malaysia. Besides that, we need to consume less fried food or junk foods, especially among the children. Children love junk food, and we need to address to them that this food is bad. They need to eat more vegetables. And other than that, it is also important that they know when is the right time to eat. A lot of people, especially Malaysians, we love supper. And supper is actually unhealthy because after we eat the food, we have no time to actually use this energy because after that we just go for a long rest and ready for the next day. And this will cause all this food to be converted into fats and lead to obesity. Hence, we need to ensure that we eat 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because these are the right time where, especially breakfast, when we eat breakfast, then we go to school or we go to work, which is where you actually use up the calories. And it's also important to note that we need to eat more carbohydrates, especially for the teenagers, the younger generations. They need all this energy to carry out their daily activities. And of course, they need to eat in sufficient amount. That's why
Excuse me, doktor.
Yeah.
Ada gema sikit. Doktor kena apa? Tutup
Okay.
mic doktor.
Alright. Sorry. Hold on,
Candidate B, talk about the importance of exercise.
A very good morning to examiners and my fellow candidates. Today I'll be talking about the importance of exercise that we're able to keep us healthy in daily life. First and foremost, I feel like while you're exercising, you're able to stay away from sicknesses and diseases. When you're exercising, exercise, your excretory system goes to work, and your sweat, which will excrete out from your sweat glands, consists of mineral salts and urine. All these toxic substances, while you excrete out, it's able to eliminate and able to help your body to function normally. And when you eliminate all this toxic, you're able to keep yourself healthy by eliminating all the possibility of getting diseases such as obesity that will lead to diabetes, heart attack, and blood pressure. For example, obesity, if you do not exercise and you eat and eat, your fat to accumulate and somehow it will clog your blood vessels, and this will lead the bloods to not be transported to your parts of your body, and this will actually lead to heart attack and may result in death, and this is not a healthy lifestyle. My second point will be it helps with mental health. Normally, when you exercise, you're able to release a hormone called dopamine, and this will actually help you to become happier. It's a happy hormone. And when you have dopamine, you're able to reduce the chances of getting depressed. And while you exercise, also, you are able to release stress. And my last point will be, instead of talking about physically and mentally, we could also talk about exercising. You are able to develop a healthy relationship among one another. That's also a healthy lifestyle. When you're exercising, you're able to interact with one another, you're able to talk with one another, discuss and have fun, and this will actually help you to also release stress and also have a healthy relationship with one another. In conclusion, I believe that exercising could actually keep you healthy.
All right, thank you, Candidate B. Candidate C, talk about the importance of seeing the doctor regularly. You may begin.
A very good morning to the examiners and my fellow candidates. Why do I feel like seeing the doctor is very important in order for us to be healthy? One reason is that when we are able to see a doctor regularly, we are able to go for checkups often. That's one of the reasons why we go see the doctor. So when we get checkups often, we know if our body is in a healthy condition or not. We are able to detect like an early detection of any kind of diseases like cancer, diabetes, or probably if we are prone to heart attacks. Also, when we go for checkups often, we know how to improve our health if we are having, let's say, if we were to have early stages of diabetes, we know how to improve ourselves. Probably the doctor will give us medication, or he will tell us what kind of foods for us to eat, so in order for us to be healthy. Also, when we are able to go for, when we see the doctor regularly, early detection of diseases can be prevented from spreading. We can know how to make ourselves better. Also, when we see a doctor regularly, we are able to keep ourselves healthy because in conclusion, I believe that it's important to see the doctor regularly in order for us to be healthy.
All right, thank you, Candidate C. Candidate D, talk about the importance of getting enough rest.
Now, when we talk about rest, I believe that there are two parts to this. Rest involves both sleep and relaxation as well. So, through rest, the first thing is that you get to reduce your stress. Now, one of the few famous, well-known people, such as Steve Jobs, he would spend at least around 10 to 20 minutes a day in his office just to meditate, to relax and rest. Whereas Elon Musk, who always spend his Sundays, his full Sundays, just to relax and spend time with his family. So this is ways that people, they schedule time to really just rest and relax because they understand the importance of rest, that it helps reduce the stress from the workload that they have. Next, following that is that rest will help control your alertness and your mood. Now, when you lack rest, your alertness towards your surroundings drop. This could pose a health risk, whereas when you are walking, you're unable to walk properly and you do not notice certain things such as sharp edges of the table, or when you're going down a staircase and you may trip and fall. So that's a risk for your health and your mood as well. Because if you do not have the right mood, you get angry, you get stressed out easily, and this affects your mental health. Lack of sleep could also even lead to hallucination, which is dangerous, where you start seeing things where you're not supposed to. Next thing about rest could also relate to your growth. So there's a proven relationship between enough sleep and your growth. If you lack sleep, you are unable to develop in your growth properly. This is why parents, teachers, and everyone else always encourage kids to sleep early and get at least about 8 hours of sleep a day, especially if you are a child who is still growing up. Last but not least, rest does support your immune system as well. There was this man who couldn't sleep, who developed a disease where he couldn't sleep. So as he went on and couldn't sleep, he ended up dying because his immune system just couldn't continue supporting him anymore. In conclusion, I believe that having enough rest is very important for your health.
All right, thank you, Candidate D. So that's the end of part 1. Now we'll move on to part 2. Turn to the other side of your paper. Now in this part of the test, you're going to discuss for about 8 to 12 minutes about how healthcare can best be improved. On this page, there are some ideas to help you. In your discussion, you may support or oppose the other candidate's views. And at the end of the discussion, try to decide on the best suggestion. You now have 3 minutes to prepare. All right, so let's start with our discussion. So discuss how healthcare can best be improved. You may begin.
A very good morning to examiners and my fellow candidates. I believe that two of the best way to improve healthcare will be having more doctors, because the wait time for general hospital is too long. For example, general hospital in university, we have to take turns, and when you like to do an operation, you need to wait for your call, which accumulate to days and weeks and months. And this will actually affect people to go to private university. But normally people who go to general hospital are people who don't have sufficient money to go to the private. So if they are forced and they have to wait to go to the general hospital, they are forced to go to the private, but do not have enough money to go for treatment. And this will actually result in healthcare in Malaysia to drop, because they are not able to treat their sicknesses. And looking at the education, if we're able to educate the people of Malaysia, for example, taking care of our own hygiene, for example, we are able to we have to educate the Malaysians to wash our hands before and after taking food, and this will actually reduce the possibility of getting sicknesses. What do you guys think?
I partially agree with you, Candidate B. I disagree with the part that you say that we will need more doctors to improve the quality of healthcare in Malaysia, because I believe the number of doctors in Malaysia, there's quite a lot that is pursuing the doctor field. But I think what's more important is to train the nurses better, because most of them, that from what we know, is that they need to be trained to be more sharp and more alert to assist the doctors. And some nurses, because they are not the doctor, they are not the one that is mainly in charge of the patients, they might lose the sense of responsibility to make sure that the patient is treated properly. And that's why, and some also don't take their jobs seriously, like they are playing their phones during when they are working. And we need to train all these nurses to be better. But I agree with you that education is very important. As we all know, in the past, that there is the cholera disease, this pandemic disease, right? And or more recently, the Ebola virus. All these things happen because there is not enough education to educate the public. And it can be done in several ways. For example, we can use through social media or news. It will educate the public that this virus will cause very serious problems. What do you all think?
I agree with candidate A and B that education and more doctors do help. But I think one point that we could actually look at is cleanliness quality of the country. Now, see, looking at the cleanliness quality, thinking about how diseases come about in the first place is because of filth, because of bacteria, because of viruses. So if the cleanliness quality of the country is well maintained, this will reduce the risk of having and developing diseases in the first place. For example, H1N1, which was a disease beginning from a pig, was it, if I'm not mistaken, correct? So if the health quality of first place and a doctor will not work well without having a proper assistance, which is well-trained nurses that can take care of the patients.
To generic medicine, which may cause a lot of side effects, which will add more to whatever sickness that they're having now. So when we are able to improve the cost of medicine, reducing it, many people will finally be able to get good, proper medicine in order to treat themselves, which is also very, very important. Also, candidate B,
not vaccinate their child, and this will actually affect and would actually make maybe a virus outbreak again. For example, measles that has been tamed after a few years. If they
educated by this, it's one way that we can improve healthcare.
In conclusion, I think we can all agree that education is the most important factor of improving our healthcare in the country.
All right. Thank you very much. So can I have back your task sheets, please?
Okay, so I can share with all of you later, okay, the video so that you can look at it again. So it's quite interesting how it looks like. It's about half an hour, but it's actually went on quite fast, right? You might think that it's quite a long time, but for those people waiting outside, it will be very fast. But maybe those who are doing it feel that it's very long. 2 minutes so long to speak. And you notice one of the candidate C, the girl, right? Okay, she I think that is very normal. Okay, she forgets what she wanted to say. Okay, but then you see the examiners trying to be calm, waiting for her until she speaks. So don't worry so much. That is normal. As long as you are able to keep your composure and then look back at your points. If you think that you cannot go on with the point, you got stuck with the point, just go on with the next one. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. If you can't finish it, you cannot, like, you say something like that and then you just stuck. What am I saying just now? I do not know how to. Just leave it. It's okay. Continue with the next point. Okay, don't worry so much about that. Okay, no worries. Okay, the reason that you have to plan for 2 minutes is for you to write down the points. Okay, how many points, some people will ask me. Okay, how many points do I need to have? Okay, to be safe is to have at least 3 points. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, 3 points, well elaborated points. Okay, not merely listing. Okay, one of the candidate, not in this group, different group, she gave me about 10 points. Does she get lots of marks? The higher the points, the more marks you get. Do you think that she get more marks because she gave 10 points? What do you guys think?
No.
No, right. What is important here? That you are able to elaborate, you are able to justify, you are able to give examples, the point, okay, and support the point. That's how you score. So the numbers of points given are not important. So you don't say, okay, my point is, for example, the question was about on how to live healthy. You have to eat lots of vitamins. Next one, you have to eat vegetables. Next point, third point, you have to eat blah, blah, blah. You are listing down only. Number 1 till number 10. So you think that you give a lot of points, you get 10 marks. score for that one. No. Okay. If you're saying that you have to take vitamins, why? You have to give reason why. And then you have to justify it. And you notice that some candidates relate to the issue at that moment when they are talking about the disease. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you when was the video taken. What year do you think the video? It was not that long. What do you think when do you think the video was recorded?
2 years ago.
Yes, 2 years ago only. Okay. Why? Because they never mentioned about COVID, right? No mention. Nothing. Okay, they did not mention about pandemic. They don't mention about COVID. They mention about Ebola, about cholera. Okay, things that happened during that time and before that. Okay, not the recent one. So because of that, they give statistic. One of the candidate did give a statistic. Which candidate was it just now? I can't remember which one. I think I put somewhere, not a statistic, but they give like scientific term, scientific fact. Okay, I think that one was candidate B. She talk about dopamine. Okay, what is a dopamine? Okay, to release stress, you need to have that kind of okay. So that shows that he has the knowledge, mature. Okay, very mature sense of treatment to the topic. But for candidate A, he did mention about a lots of people did not eat well. They love to eat junk food. A lot of them eat junk food. I know, okay, there are a lot of people eating junk food, but people can ask him, how many actually you're talking about. I don't like junk food. Who are you referring to? Where do you get the information from? Okay, I'm just worried. But please, if they are your friends, you don't ask them that. But examiner might be thinking that, something like that, but they don't ask. Okay, if you have things like that, the fact it is better if you're able to support it. Okay, but of course you can't refer to anywhere, right? So it is not necessary for you to say, okay, in the newspaper dated 18 August 2020, it was stated that the statistic of the, of course, that one, it doesn't make sense. But maybe you can just don't give too general. Okay, a lot of people don't love to eat junk food. When you say a lot of people eating junk food, how would you know? Okay, so it's not quite, that one can be rebutted. Okay, your maybe the others will say something like that. So just be very careful. Don't make too generalized sentence or too generalized opinion. Okay, so you see that candidate C, she was hesitated when she was speaking. She lost points. Okay, but she was a little bit calm and she keeps continue talking. At the end, she just do the conclusion part. Okay, so she may not be able to give a third point. She gave third point but not supported well. It's okay. It's not the end of the world because you have the second part where you can score for your discussion. So do that. It does happen. So don't worry so much for part one if you do not do well. You have the other part two. So part one, people are a little bit scared because you are talking on your own. But part two, you can see that the candidates are a little bit relaxed. Okay, because they are able to discuss with each other. Okay, during preparation also, you are not allowed to speak with the other candidates. Okay, you don't disturb the one next to you. Go and see what he or she is writing. Okay, don't. You are not allowed to do that. This is a test. So you have to prepare on your own. The only time that you can speak with the other students are during the discussion session, which is the 8 to 12 minutes, okay, presentation. During that time only. And you see how did they discuss. So when one of the candidate explaining and giving candidate, it was candidate, which candidate started first during the discussion? Which candidate started first?
Candidate B.
Candidate B started first. So it's not necessary candidate A to start the discussion. Okay, so candidate B start first. If you are worried about how to start, maybe before you go in the room, you can decide among your group members. Okay, you will know who will be in the groups before you go in. Okay, And usually in the center that I was in, I will only follow the name list that has been registered, meaning following the registration number for the MUET. If let's say it is 1001, 1001, so 1002, 1003, 1004. So 1001 will be A, B, C, and D. It's already been decided before you go in the room. So when you have the list of name, it will follow by session. Session 1, normally they will have about 20 students, so 5 groups, okay, 20 students. So you will be put in with your group before you go in. So you can sit down with your groups and get to know them, who they are, okay, and decide. And you already know who will be A, B, C, and D. And you can decide, okay, part B, who's going to start first? Maybe I'm a little bit nervous. Can you start first? Okay, decide. You can do that if you want to. All right, you can decide. There's no problem with that. It's just that for the individual presentation, it must be A first. It cannot be helped. Okay, you cannot say that you don't want to start first. No, you can't. You have to follow the order that has been set. And also, since the topic is given to each candidate is different, A will get a different one. Okay, A was talking about, what was he talking about? So A was talking about the when people eat, what and when people eat. And candidate B, he was asked to talk about exercise. C was asked to talk about seeing doctor regularly, and the last one is having enough rest. So they already been given the topic. You cannot change the topic. Okay, if you don't like the topic, you still have to speak about the topic. If you don't agree with the topic, also you have to speak about the topic. Okay, but usually the topic will be like this. Okay, very general, not political or racial or cultural, okay, differences. No, it will be something like this, agreeable by many. So don't worry so much of this. Okay, I noticed there was one question, I can't remember where, from one of the book, one of the MUET book, and one of the notes given was to reduce alcohol intake. Okay, ada ya. So it happened. Okay, reduce alcohol intake. So I think that one is just meant for exercise in the book. Okay, for us as a Muslim, of we don't even discuss about it. What do you mean by alcohol intake? Reduce. You cannot take alcohol even. So that one is quite sensitive. But that one I think is meant for discussion in the book. But usually it won't come out during the exam. Okay, real exam. So it will be topic like this, very general about healthcare, this and that, which people can relate, people can understand. Okay, so just do whatever topic that is given to you. And if you notice, these topics are not mentioned during part 2, not so much. The theme is related, but you are not discussing the points, so much of the points earlier. You are given another situation which is quite related with some points. Okay, you see the graphic just now. Okay, and not to say and to give you some points to discuss. You can come up with other option as well. Okay, the examiner mentioned that you can come up with other option and decide at the end of the discussion what will be the best thing. Okay, to improve health in Malaysia. Okay, so that's why it's a little bit different. Okay, the question, I did not share with you the question. How does the question look like? Okay, so this is how the question look like. All right, can you see? Is it too small? Can you all see the questions?
Yes.
Okay, so all right. This is how the MUET question for speaking test look like. Okay. This is taken from NPM. Yeah? So for candidate A, this is the one the examiner gave each one of them. Candidate A, you only be receiving this. So same question just now. It is important to be healthy. Suggest some ways to keep healthy. So you don't have to think of the points. What are the ways to keep healthy? It's already been given to you. The one in bold here. So you as candidate A, you are going to talk about the importance of what and when. For candidate B, just now it was a little bit different, right? So this one is task B. Okay, for candidate B, okay, he has to talk about the importance of exercise. And candidate C, just now, to see doctor regularly, and D talks about enough rest. So different points were given to each candidate for part 1. And part B, they are not talking about what is important. Okay, not talking about how ways to keep healthy. No, this one is just for task A. Part 1. Okay, candidate A. Okay, so suggest some ways to keep healthy. But for the second situation in the discussion is a bit different. The situation is about health, but it's not about how to be healthy. Okay, it's about the quality of healthcare in Malaysia. Okay, how to improve the quality healthcare in Malaysia, and these points were given. Okay, more doctors, hospital buildings, trained nurses, cost of medicine, and education. So there are 5 points here. You may use whatever that you have presented during part 1, but it has to be related to the improvement of healthcare, not how to take care of health. Because just now was talking about how you take care of health, but now it's talking about how do you improve health care. And you have to decide at the end of the discussion, decide the best way to improve health care. So from these points, the 5 points, you have to decide how many. How many do you need to decide? How many ways? 1, 2, 3, 4? How many ways are you supposed to decide?
Probably maybe between 2 to 3.
But look at the question. The best way. Okay, so you are expected to give only one. Expected to give only one. Okay, this is, I don't want to say just give one. Because sometimes during argument, you realize these 2 points are very strong. And the group can't decide. Maybe 2 agree with this point, another 2 agree with this point. So can you say that you can decide more than one? Yes, you can actually. So based on our discussion, there seems to be 2 ways that are they are both important. Okay, both are important to us. So we've decided that education and the course of medicines are the best way to improve healthcare. Is it wrong? The answer, no, it's not, because it will depend on how you do the discussion in the group. But if your group inclined to just choose one, then one. If 2, then 2. But you don't say, oh, all of them are very important. Yes, I know all of them are very important, but try to decide the best way. However it is, try to decide the best way. Of course, the safest answer you will say, everything is very important. Okay? But for the sake of a discussion, try to choose. Okay, which is the best way. What if at the end of the discussion, you cannot decide the answer? What will happen? Will marks be deducted? It might. Because it's like there's no closure to the discussion. Tak ada, it's just hanging like that. No closure. Okay, tiba-tiba habis. You don't even decide. Meaning you did not answer the question here. You did not finish this part. So that's why it is important to keep track of the time. Okay, one of you or maybe the others will have to be alert. Okay, look at the time. If you think that you have about 1 or 2 minutes left before the 12 minutes, okay, look at the watch. Okay, you give the cue to them. Like just now, the student mentioned, in conclusion, then the others was like, okay, we have to stop arguing. We have to decide now. All right. So the best thing to start during discussion is to argue first. Because you have about 12 minutes. I think it's quite long to discuss for 12 minutes. So don't simply started to agree quickly. You can agree with your friend's points, but you try to create some argument a bit. But don't argue too long. There were some group who got excited. They argued until the 11th minutes. Okay, and then when the time's up, they did not have the time to do the conclusion. All right, so please, okay, so those examiners who notice that, usually what I did, if the time is already up, okay, the time is up, do you want to do a conclusion before we stop? So I will just let them just a few seconds to do a conclusion. But some examiners, they don't. Okay, and especially when they are actually how to say, they are looking, they are very in hurry, they are waiting, the other groups are waiting, or maybe they have started late, so they have to go fast, so they could not do that, so they might just, okay, finished, all right, thank you very much, you may deliver. So there's no closure of the discussion, so you yourself also don't feel good. It's like, you did not close it, and then examiners also, is a little bit difficult to give marks because you did not answer the question, which is the best way to decide. So please, time, yeah, look at the time and see, okay, where it is. All right, let's go back to the slide. Okay. All right, so this one is the rubrics for scoring band 5. Okay, to get a band 5, you are able to present a very clear, smooth, flowing description or argument. Okay, so meaning you are able to do it very smoothly. And then your style, in an appropriate style to the context, effective logical structure. Okay, you can take part effortlessly during discussion, demonstrates, okay, using idiomatic expression, colloquialism, okay, express fluently. Okay, when faced a problem, can backtrack and restructure around the difficulty so smoothly. Okay, so this one is rephrasing. Sometimes you say something and then you notice that, oh, it doesn't go as how you intend it to be, and then you rephrase your sentence. That's fine, you can do that, meaning that you are alert and you know, okay, the sentence is not quite right and you have to restructure it, so that's fine. Okay, because when you speak, sometimes I notice the mouth moves faster than the brain, right? Sometimes you forgot to think first before you speak. So you can do that, it doesn't matter. It's just like if writing, you can think first before you write. So speaking is a little bit different. Linguistic knowledge, accurate grammar, pronunciation, varied sentence structures, and fluent, like what I mentioned earlier. So this is what expected for you to prepare for candidate A, B, C, and D. You have to come out with at least 3 points. Okay, each one of you at least 3 points. Give the supporting details or the examples, justification for each points given. Okay, then you are ready to present. Okay, points, I was saying about points. Don't write long sentences. Okay, don't write long sentences or don't write a speech. When you write a speech, you would tend to read from the paper and you don't have enough time to write a speech in 2 minutes. So just write point. You can do mind map, you can just do points, things like that. Okay, don't bother about writing a whole sentence, just the points to help you guys. So in case if you lost track, you can just look again. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Even when I watched the speaking test video just now, I did write a few points here, okay, so that I can refer to it. So it is best when you have some points, it's easier for you to refer to it, okay? Then you might not get lost, okay? If you notice, sometimes when you get carried away explaining, you forgot, you missed out the last point. Then when you look at it, you know, oh, okay, and the last point is, then you explain, okay? Do it like that, make it a habit, okay? Not to write a long sentence, not to write the whole sentence or the whole paragraph, but just points or short phrases. Okay, so we have a little bit some are we doing this one? Let me think. How exercising improve self-esteem. Am I doing this? I forgot. Let me check first, yeah. Is this the situation? That is not the situation. I'm sorry about that. Okay, that is not the situation, but I think that's fine. Okay, we can have this, but it is talking about health again, right? Something like that. So maybe I'll give you another points for you to discuss after this. Just go through this one, okay? Because I have the points to share with you about this. So if let's say C to okay, this one something to do with health again. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't realize it. Okay, so the points here is regular basis is exercising. Okay, this is more of exercising. Okay, benefits of exercising. Just now, how to be healthy, but this one is more of the benefits of exercising. So a little bit different. Okay, not only about health, but benefits of exercising. So you have to give a presentation, talk about how exercising improves self-esteem. Okay, how does it improve self-esteem? So just now, how to improve your health, right? But now, how exercising can improve self-esteem. Okay, so if you are the candidate, this is what you can do. Like the speaking quadrant just now, right? I did ask you to prepare. Okay, improve self-esteem, you can give two main points, the effects of it and how it can be improved. Okay, so you can give two main points, the effects and how or the way to improve self-esteem. Look at the box, the pink color box there. Under exercise on effects of self-esteem, you can divide into two. One will be the short-term effects. The second one will be the long-term effects. So the short-term effect will be it relaxes our mind, helps find inner peace, improve moods, infuses positivity. And the long-term effect will be you feel good, motivated, improves confidence, increases self-trust, and so on. And what about this one? How exercise can improve it. So those are the effects and how you can have realistic exercise plan, work out with friends, monitor progress and celebrate accomplishment. So that's how it will actually affects your self-esteem, to improve your self-esteem. So just 2 points like this. Write short points like this and then explain, okay, to the other candidates what are your points. Just explain later on, okay, and speak to them about this. All right, so now let's try one exercise here rather than me talking. It's already 4:30. Okay, I have this Mentimeter here with me. Are you all familiar with Mentimeter? No. Can you see the screen or no? I haven't shared it. Sorry. Okay. A tab or a window? This one is a tab. All right. Can you see the screen here? The Mentimeter screen? Can you all see this?
Yes.
Okay, so go to www.menti.com and then using the code 7382969. Those who are watching from YouTube also, you can do this. Not YouTube, the live. Why am I talking about YouTube? Okay, watching from the live, you can also join this. Okay, go to www.menti.com and then Key in this code 7382969. Can you do that?
Yes.
Ah. Okay, I'm still waiting. I cannot see anyone joining it. Any problem? Okay, one person. Okay, you can just share what do you think, in your opinion, what are the incredible, what are the convenience of doing online shopping? Okay, save our time, variety of choices, easily shop from bed. Okay, so are you on your bed now? I guess so. Saves time and energy. Okay. The others, I have about 27 minus 3 will be 24. No one else? Okay, just go here. Okay, the instructions is given on top. Go to menti.com and use the code 7382969 up here. Okay, if not, I can share you the link in the chat here so that you can just click on it. You don't have to use different sentences. You can just use the same phrases that your friends are using, like save time. Okay, so you can just use save time, save our time, save our time. Same thing. Okay, this one actually are from the same thing. Protect us from COVID. Saves time. Okay, another one. So a lot of you, quite a number of you has chosen save time actually. Yeah. Easy to transfer money. Transfer or pay? I mean, you're paying using transfer, right? Online transfer. Anyone else on that? The others, why don't you join? Because I wouldn't be able to interact with you, okay? Only one or two are always answering my questions, but the other are so quiet, okay? You have to speak. If not, I wouldn't know what you don't know. I'm worried about that. So it's good if you're able to ask me questions and also respond. So I can see there are only 10 who are interested to do this. Okay, so we can see that most of you are saying that time. Okay, save a lot of time. It save of energy and also easy to look because there are a lot of choices. Okay, and you don't have to go to out, right? You just stay in. Okay, there's so many points that you can do. Okay, you don't have to go through the jams. You don't have to queue, right? You don't need to be fully vaccinated to go. Okay, you can just do it online anytime, any place. Okay, You don't have to wear anything special to go. All right. And some they would like to they how to say sometimes you want to buy big things, right? And it cannot fit your car, so you have to buy online so that people will send it for delivery. Okay, you can say that as well, right? Okay, so quite a lot are doing it now. Privacy for purchase. How do you know it's privacy? How would you know that it is privacy here? Not really, right? Because your information is no more private if you're doing it online. Okay, easy to transfer money, hassle free. Okay, it depends. Okay, I'm sure you have things like experience the thing that you order did not arrive on time, or it might be a different item sent to you. Okay, I'm sure all of you have experienced that, even myself as well, right? You ordered something else but something else came in. Okay, this one got coins and shop back. This one must be Shopee lah ni kan. Coin, right? Lazada ada, I'm not sure. Okay, maybe. Okay. Buy any products, okay, and don't have to go out. So I think basically most of these points are related because of online shopping. Okay, and it get more popular during this pandemic. Okay, so thank you so much for this. Okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts on this. Going back to the slide. Okay. All right, so these are also the phrases, okay, that you can use when you do a presentation. Okay, you can use greetings, good morning. Usually the test will be done in the morning, so that's why I dare to put the word morning there. All right, good morning, okay, to the examiners and fellow candidates. Okay, you don't have to give a long speech. My name is blah blah blah, IC number. No need. You don't have to do that. Okay, because this is not a public speaking. Okay, it's just you are doing individual presentation, which is only 2 minutes, so you can decide which one that you wanted to do, and then giving your opinions. Okay, it is good that you maintain your eye contact, okay, with each other, okay, the candidates when you speak. And I noticed just now, okay, I won't say the sample just now was the best, no, okay, because I noticed that when your friend was presenting, you are busy writing something, so that one I think for me is not that good. Okay, it is best when your friends are presenting, you look at them, okay, respond to them by nodding, by smiling, okay, so that they feel a bit better. They're not talking alone. Okay, then you can go to your points. First and foremost, to start, to begin with. So there's no many ways, okay, so many ways for you to start. This is because you give the justification. Okay, I notice they use a lot of hands like that. So don't do that so much. Okay, try to reduce it. Okay, for examples, you can give examples. Okay, and so on. All right, then second point. What is your second point? Okay, the right side here column is just to give you a reminder how to do it. Sit up straight. Okay, you have to sit up straight when you do a presentation. Don't slouch. Okay, you feel not confident when you sit up straight. It shows that you are confident to speak. Okay, then speak loud enough and clear voice so that the others can hear your voice. Candidate B talks a little bit soft just now, so that's why somehow you cannot hear. Okay, that is quite dangerous. If examiner cannot hear you clearly, they can't give you lots of marks. Okay, they might misheard you instead. Okay, then you have this giving the reason, and then you give examples. You see, every point they have the reasons, they have the example. And then third point, finally, okay, Okay, the reasons and examples. Okay, this one is not recommended. Okay, because I don't think you have the time. If you can, so for those are very good students, okay, band 5 students, I think they can sometimes just use certain phrases and everybody can relate to it. And then the last one, the others not your head, attentively, conclusion. In a nutshell, in short, to summarize, in summary, in essence, and you end it. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay, thank you for listening. Okay, just like that. All right, so there are some few phrases that you can actually use. Okay, if your friends have used it, you may use a different one. But if you're using the same one, it doesn't matter. So this is the whole speech, okay, from candidate A. An example of a whole speech of the topic just now that we do on Mentimeter on how exercise can improve self-esteem. Okay, my main point, because you have the two main points, right? One will be the short term, another one will be the long term. Okay, the short term relaxes our mind and smooth and so on. So they give why and then the example here. Secondly, make us feel good about our physical self. Okay, the more we work, the more our body do. Okay, consider training 2 or 3 days weekly. And then confidence grow. We must trust we can achieve this goal. And this is important because self-trust is a key to a healthy life. Okay, and then finally, the last point, right? Enhance our self-esteem to be realistic of the exercise. Okay, can work out with friends physically or virtually, monitor our progress and see the changes. Okay, and not forget to celebrate our accomplishment. Okay, there are ways when you can celebrate your accomplishment, right? Sometimes people put up on the social media on how many steps that you have gone, how many kilometers, or even you use Strava. Okay, Strava is an app that can detect how far have you walked, how far did you jog, how far did you cycle, how far do you swim, and things like that. Okay, and they share in the Strava, and people will give you kudos, like thumbs up, okay, for what you have done. So when you see a lot of people giving you a support, you feel motivated to do it again. Okay, that in a way can actually boost your self-esteem. Be more confident about your health. Okay, so this is the whole a whole speech of the 2 minutes. It's not that this candidate prepare in writing this one. I mean, just showing to you how does the whole 2 minutes looks like. Okay, when you do a oral presentation. Okay, this one we did just now, right? Incredibles of online discussion. Okay, part 2, very quickly. So in part 2, these are the things that you can do. You can initiate a discussion, maintain a discussion, turn taking, and also closing a discussion. Okay, and these are the phrases that you can use. If you agree with the point of view, if you don't agree, I'm sorry, I beg to differ. Okay, please disagree politely. Okay, don't simply no, I don't like your idea, I hate your idea. You cannot use those things. Okay, don't. Okay, you can see your friend's face going, oh, okay, you hate it. Okay, so don't do that. All right. And then when you give negative or you want to give a different point, do it politely. I'm sorry, but I beg to differ. This is why you have to justify why you don't agree. Okay, I'm afraid I don't see eye to eye with you. Okay, meaning that you don't understand. You don't see eye to eye. You don't see the same thing. I'm afraid I don't get what you mean. Okay, this is when you don't understand and you ask for clarification. Okay, and then you notice candidate A used this one when not candidate B started the discussion and then he used this. Does anyone or do you guys agree with me? He did something like that. Okay, to initiate the discussion, to ask people to join the discussion. Would anyone like to contribute a fresh point of view? Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting, but may I say something? Excuse me, what is your opinion on this matter? Okay, this one, if you notice, one of the candidates are keeping quiet. Sorry, there's a motorbike sound. Okay, one of the candidates are keeping quiet. You can ask him or her. Excuse me, what is your opinion on this matter? Okay, for the discussion, the high marks that you get does not mean that you talk a lot. Okay, you don't get high marks in the discussion if you are the one controlling the discussion, or we call it monopolize the discussion. You don't get high marks for that because that is not discussion. Discussion should involve everyone in the group. So you have to realize, if you notice one of your friend did not speak, then call him or her to share, because he or she might not sure when to interrupt. Okay, they feel a bit shy maybe. So try. When you do that, you actually get extra points because you are trying to maintain the discussion and also initiate the discussion. So please do that. But don't be like, okay, you give your opinion, your opinion, your opinion. That is a dictator. It's not a discussion. All right. There are so many types of students. Okay, when I see like this, there are some students, not some. There was one case where this student just only say good morning, then keep quiet. He did not say anything. Okay, so the others are okay. So they try to help this person. Do you agree with me? Dia pun jawab lah, oh yes, yes. Okay. Why do you agree? Anything that you want to add? Then only he start to speak. Okay, try. Okay, it does not mean that if only the three of you are talking, this one are not talking, okay, you won't get lesser mark than him. Okay, you might get the same mark as him because your discussion doesn't going anywhere. There's no discussion among the four. Only the three of you monopolize the discussion. So try as much as possible. But if you already initiated, you're already calling that person to join, but still no word comes out from him or her, then it's not your fault because you have tried your best. Okay, so just carry on with the discussion. Okay, so there are other things that you can use. You can use this introduction here. It is often said that so many introduction that you can use. Okay, expressing opinion. In my opinion, I agree, I disagree. Okay, this one also can be used for your written, for your writing test as well. It's quite the same. For your writing, you will also using all this expression of opinion. Introducing points like just now, firstly to start with, secondly, and so on. Interrupting and asking questions. Okay, when you want to interrupt people during the discussion, so interrupt politely. Okay, and ask question. How about you? Why do you think? Okay, how do you present your ideas and give examples? Okay, and then counter arguing things that you don't agree. Okay, the one that I share with you, right? I don't see eye to eye. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, I beg to differ. Things like that, right? Expressing reason and result. Okay, what is the result of the study that you've read somewhere? What is the theory? What does that mean? Okay, and the conclusion. So many ways to do the conclusion. In conclusion, in a nutshell, to sum up, to recap. Okay, the pros and cons. Well, I partially agree to begin. I'm now I am now of the opinion that X is more preferable than Y, and so on. Okay, how you conclude it. Okay, so I have another one here, exercise. Maybe you can do it later and write it on the Padlet. Okay, I have the Padlet here. Let me share with you the Padlet. I will share you the link so that later on you can put your answers there. Okay, so decide who are going to be in the group. Okay, because it's nearly 5 o'clock already, so I don't have time to do this one. So go to the Padlet, and then you can do it here. Give an answer. Okay, to maintain a healthy lifestyle, you need healthy habits. Discuss some healthy habits. Okay, discuss some healthy habits. So choose in your group which one do you think. Okay, the healthy habits that you should have. No smoking, regular exercise, healthy diet, healthy weight, or mental health. Which one of these 5 do you think are the best habits for healthy lifestyle? Then you can share it in the Padlet here. Okay, the Padlet that I'm, is it this one? Yeah. Okay, this one here. Okay, the Padlet here. So we have group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6. So it's up to you who you're going to be with in the group. I can give you the comments even after this, after the course, this course has ended. And also, I can give you the feedback because we're going to meet again, right? Next week on at the same time, on the same day. And I can give you feedback on this as well. So keep on coming, whichever group that you want to be. You can have 4 people in the group. And then put your points here. Why do you think? Okay. Which one do you think is the healthy habits? Okay, you can put your points here. All right. Okay, so last but not least, okay, this is the final tips, okay, about the speaking test. Of course, you have to be prepared. What do you mean by be prepared here? Bawa toyol ke? No, jangan. Okay, tak boleh. Okay, so don't. Alright, so be prepared meaning you know who you are talking to. Of course, you know your friends. And I noticed just now in the group, when the speaking test video, they are using the word candidate. What do you think candidate A? What do you think candidate B? If you know that person's name, I think it will be okay if you want to call the name. What do you think, Azhar? Okay, it's okay because when you do candidate A, candidate B, okay, it doesn't flow so well when you do a discussion, right? Okay, you have to prepare the points and remember the KISS principle, KISS. Keep it short and simple. Okay. Organize your note neatly and mentally prepared. Okay, you have to know which is your first point, second point, and the third point. Okay, and the next one is to be relaxed. Okay, it's okay to be nervous. Anything also people will still be nervous, so don't be too stressed out. Okay, it will just be over in a few minutes, then you can enjoy after that. And then keep your ideas clear and concise. So meaning you have to map out your points properly. Okay, very clearly what are your points, the reason, examples. Try to do that. Okay, what are your points, the reason, justify, and examples after that. Then your points will be flow nicely, very clear. Be engaging. Okay, so try to capture your friend's attention with what you are saying. Okay, if you're so monotonous, keep on looking down, not looking at the examiners or candidate. Okay, the others also will not feel interested in looking at you. Okay, next one, exercise voice control. Okay, control your voice. If you think your voice is not that loud enough, try to be a little bit louder. Okay, not too sharp, but as loud, but clear and loud enough for the others to hear. Okay, control your facial expressions and gestures. Okay, as I mentioned just now, the hands movement. Okay, try not to be so excessive. So if you're talking about points, you can use things like the first one, the second one, the third point. Okay, you can do that. Okay, but if you don't like something, you don't have to bang the table or things like that. No. Don't be too dramatic. Okay, we are not doing debate. Okay, so don't do that. And then facial expressions. Okay, when your friends are presenting and you are looking at your friends, if you agree with the points, you can just do like that, a little bit of nod, okay, smile and things like that. But if you don't agree, you don't show your face like, and then you're making face of what is the point, is he making? Oh, I don't understand. You're making those faces. You are not supporting your friends. So that is very bad. So don't do that. Okay. So make sure that you have the friendly face on and you are there not to win. You are not going to win. Okay. You are only to going for a test. Sama-sama together. The discussion. You need each other. Okay. During that discussion, you depend on each other actually. So try not to do that. Don't look at the floor, looking at the ceiling. Okay, hands are only inside the pocket, especially sometimes people are wearing jacket. You put your hands inside the pocket only all the time. Okay, and then not to touch or to play. Sometimes people play with the pen all the time when talking. Too nervous, right? And then keep on touching the hair, keep on touching the eyes, keep on touching the nose here and there. Okay, try to control that. Okay, and then questions, handling questions. When people ask you questions in the group, okay, how do you handle that? Okay, try to answer them politely, and those asking questions also have to ask politely. And look at the time. Many times I mentioned just now, look at the time. Okay, especially during discussion, you might lost track of the time. So look at the time. If you feel, oh, you have about 1 minute left, okay, and come up with the conclusion. Okay, don't wait. Okay, don't wait too long and don't finish too early. Okay, 8 minutes and above, that will be fine. All right. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Those are the tips that I can share with you within 2 hours. Okay, if there's nothing else, so any question to ask before we end our session today? Anyone? Any question from anyone? Anything to clarify?
Doctor,
Yes.
there is a question from our viewers on YouTube.
Yeah.
The question says, Madam, for the part 2, will the candidate that talk less will get less marks? What if other candidates talk too much until she or he doesn't have much time to state their own points?
Okay, that's why it is important to have turn taking. That's why I say you have to actually look, okay, how the discussion goes. Those who monopolize or who only speak so much does not mean that that person will get a higher marks. No, okay, not really. Those who talk less, okay, you have to somehow or rather try to get into the discussion. Okay, and the other candidate, you must notice, right, that person talks so much. Okay, you can stop there, stop them. Okay, if you think that he is talking too long already, you can just I'm sorry, but can I say something here? Interrupt that person. Sometimes that person did not realize that, so do that. Okay, using all those turn taking phrases. Excuse me, can I interrupt here? May I say something here? And then you ask those who are keeping quiet, what do you think? Do you have any opinion to share with us? So that the conversation or the discussions are equally distributed among the other candidates. So everyone will have the chance to speak and not only one person monopolize everything. Monopolizing the discussion does not mean you get a higher marks. No, not really, because it is not, as I said, not a winning competition. No, it is how you handle a discussion. Okay, I hope I answer that. Any more question?
That's all.
That's all. Okay. So I noticed that one group has managed to answer on the Padlet. So the others, please, okay, you can answer the question in the Padlet later on. I will put the question on the Padlet in case you have forgotten, right? The one from my slide, and then I put it on the Padlet so that you can refer to it later. Okay, if there's nothing else, I think I will end it here. I will see you guys again next week on Friday, same time. Where is our MC?
Okay, inshallah next time, Doctor.
Okay, all right. Is there anything else?
I think we should take picture for the last time.
Okay. The last time
For the
for
last
today's session.
today. Okay.
The others don't want to on your camera. See, Hakimi memang on the bed already. Kantoi salah pusing kamera.
Women do make a mistake sometimes.
Okay. The others? Aiman, okay, I can see your face. There are two Aiman, Ahmad Aiman and Aiman Yusof. Hakimi, where are you, Hakimi? Near the door somewhere? Are you all in the campus or at home?
At home, teacher.
Oh, you can't be in the campus yet. When are they coming in, teacher? Teacher Hajar bila dia orang masuk balik ni?
This week, teacher.
This week.
This week?
This week.
Yeah.
So next week I'll be seeing you guys, right? In campus. No, I don't go to the campus. I'll still see you online. But you guys will be in campus, right, next week. Okay? We ready? Anyone else want to turn on the camera?
Okay, in 1, 2, 3.
Dah.
Okay, one
Lamanya.
more time. One more time. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
Alright. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you guys again next week, alright? Take good care of yourself. Be healthy. The tema. Okay, the theme for today.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Mazlin.
Welcome.
Thank you.